Hey, how's it going, guys? Welcome to today's video, and today we're going to be talking about back-end selling systems. My name is Julius and I own an agency called Skillshow. If you're running an agency or you own a company that's making over 6 figures a month, then this video is for you. Right, let's get straight into it. Most businesses are obsessed with your front end, right? But better ads, they want better ads, they want better landing page, better targeting, and better funnels. Here's what they're missing. There's a completely different system that's generating 2 to 3x better results than anything happening on the front end. And most people, they have no idea that it exists, right? It's called backend selling systems. And the results are absolutely insane. It's through the fucking roof. Alright, we're talking about the show rates jumping from 39% to 74% in just 10 days, close rates increasing by 30 to 50%, right? The sales cycles are getting cut in half, the revenue per lead is doubling, right? That all happened without spending a single extra dollars on ads, okay? Now, what is backend selling systems? Okay, so the definition of backend selling systems are a strategic combination of 4 proven tactics deployed after someone takes an initial action. For example, they book a call, they opt into a webinar, fills up a form, etc. All that kind of stuff, right? And these systems bridge the information gap between the lead capture and the actual sales conversations. That will dramatically improve show rates, close rates, and overall sales compressions. So now, we're going to talk about information deficit. Most marketers assume their problems are on the front end. So they have bad ads, weak funnels, poor targeting. But the real opportunity lies in the back end. When lead shows up cold to the sales calls, they arrive with an information deficit, a gap between what they know and what they need to know to take an action. And these will cause sales calls to become education calls instead of closing calls. It will also affect the show rates, bringing it down, poor conversion rates, longer sales cycles, and leads that aren't that qualified or motivated coming in, right? So to put it in perspective, let's give it an example. Scenario 1 for a generic information. Men have 50% statistically higher chance of having skin cancer compared to women. This will result in no urgency, no action, and it's just freaking fact. Okay, now we put it into a more personalized one, a more believable information. A dermatologist on a plane notices a concerning spot on your arms and says, I don't want to freak you out, but I'm a dermatologist and there's like a spot on your arm that concerns me. It might be early stage melanoma. I'll strongly recommend getting a simple screening if it's melanoma. Catching it early means like no real issues, right? If someone tells you that and says they're a dermatologist and tells you that it might be melanoma, this will result in immediate action, high priority, and believable urgency. Okay, so the lesson here is that the difference isn't the information itself, but the degree to which it inspires the action. Right? Backend selling systems are designed to deliver information that makes your offer a priority. Right? I hope that makes sense until now. Okay. So the 4 components of backend selling systems. First, confirmation page best practices. Right? So immediately after someone takes an action, they book a call, opt in, download, all that stuff. This is where we get that peak attention, right? The person just committed to something, you have their full focus, right? What we want to do is deploy breakout videos showing urgency-based reasons to prioritize your offer, right? Using highly believable content that reinforces their decision. That will capture momentum, move them further along the sales cycles before the actual call. So they will be more educated, they will have their questions answered, right? Alone, this tactic has generated 32% lift in show rates for some users. Okay. Number 2, let's go on to the value dense email sequences, right? You would deploy these between confirmation and the sales call. This matters because it continues to educate and build urgency without being salesy. What we want to do is send multiple high value emails, up to 6 per day in some cases, right? That's like the maximum. Focus on delivering information that makes your offer a priority. Bridge the information gap with specific, actionable insights. Build a belief in your solution before the call. Okay, let's go into one of my favorites. Actually, this is called the Hammer Them content remarketing campaign. So you would deploy this parallel to the email sequence. So same thing. So you deploy it between confirmation and sales calls. Okay, this is a quote unquote propaganda strategy that originated the entire backend selling systems due to its exceptional effectiveness, right? So what we want to do, right, for the Hammer Them strategy is to deploy targeted content across multiple channels, reinforce key messages and urgency, keep your offer on top of the mind, and build social. Alright, just fix that. And keep your offer on top of the mind and build social proof and credibility, right? This is one of the highest impact components of the four pillars of the backend selling system. So let's go to number 4, salesperson manual outreach best practices. So basically status best practices. So this happens for direct outreach before and during the sales cycles. This matters a lot because personal touch reinforces the information gap bridge. So what we want to do is use proven manual outreach strategies. So for this one, is actually for my agency only. So if you guys want to know like how I do my manual outreach strategies, let me know and I'll make a video about it. So yeah, with that aside, so you want to send personalized messages based on what you have learned. So on the actual call itself, you want your setter to be more personalized, if that makes sense, based on what you have learned from the confirmation page and the email data. Right, and reinforce urgency and priority, qualify and warm the leads before the call itself, okay? And this will contribute to overall show rate and conversion improvements. So let's go into what backend selling systems do not impact, right? Backend selling systems are not for front-end strategies. They will not directly improve the ad performance. They will not directly improve the click-through rates, cost per lead, and the front-end conversion rates. However, if you build an extremely strong network effect and reputation in your space, you may see secondary front-end benefits, okay? That's just an exception, okay? But what backend selling systems do impact, they impact show rates on webinar, call, or event attendance, if you may, and close rates for conversions on sales calls, sales cycles, lead quality, right? What closers report about leads, pay-ins, and revenue per lead, connection rates. Overall, it will improve all the backend statistics. Okay, cool. Right. So the core intention behind backend selling systems is pretty simple, right? Moving people further along the sales cycles before the call actually happens. When someone shows up to a sales call, already educated, already believing in the problem, already seeing your solution as a priority, the call becomes a closing call because they know what you're offering, they know the problems that they have, and they know that what you offer actually can help your current situation. And it will not be an educational call where you just educate them about what you do and all that type of stuff. And this is why the results are so dramatic, right? Higher show rates, people are more motivated to attend. Higher close rates, less education needed. Shorter sales cycles, momentum is already built from the backend selling systems. Better lead quality, only serious prospect remains. So the key takeaway from this video is that backend selling systems aren't about better ads or better funnels. They're more about bridging the information gap between when someone raises their hand and when they show up to buy. Okay, by delivering the right information at the right time, information that makes you offer a priority, you transform cold leads into warm, educated, and motivated prospects who are ready to fucking close. Right? This is why backend selling systems have such a profound fucking effect on every statistics that matters, right? The show rate, close rate, sales cycles, and revenue. Okay? Alright, so now that you have know what backend selling systems are, if you're a coach, you are a info coach or online coach or business owner making 6 figures a month, or you are an expert wanting to turn your expertise into a 6 figures a month business, booking a call with me, right? We'll go through the stuff that we can implement, right? We'll have a conversation to see if you're a fit, see if my services are a fit for your business. If you're a fit, cool. If you're not, then we can go our ways and piss each other off. Okay, so yeah, if you want some help and you want to scale the business, you're in 6 figure, you're facing some problems, book in a call and we'll see what we can do. And if you have any more questions about this, what backend selling systems is, or anything about scaling, DM me on Instagram. My Instagram handle is JuliusUZH. Alright, so that'll be it. Thanks guys for watching. Peace.